talking about these thingies and those thingies. What's the difference between espresso and filter roasting?
It's a very good question. So I believe that when we are roasting, there's different levels of not only lighter and darker kind of shades, but what's going on inside of the bean.
Okay. So, for example, this one says filter on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean?
So when we are roasting for a filter, we are roasting lighter. So you can imagine a bean starts green from the plant, and we get a whole heap of them. We put them in a roaster, we heat up the roaster, and it roasts these beans, and the different level of shades of darkness and the different developments of that coffee create different flavor profiles. And so what we deem is the nicest flavor for filter style is a lighter roast. So this is a filter device. Do you want to talk about the filter and how we brew that kind of light style brewing?
Wow. Well, that sounds like a video in itself, Dan. But I'll just say that filter brews generally have the coffee in contact with the water for a longer period of time, as opposed to an espresso roast, which is a darker roast and generally more soluble to water. So the water to contact time when brewing in like an espresso stovetop or traditional espresso machine is much shorter.
Which do you like better?
Look, I love them both, to be honest. I like the intensity of an espresso roast first thing in the morning, and I like the more nuanced approach of filter coffees for the rest of the day.
So when you experience an espresso roast, you'll generally get a darker look of the bean. They will be more easy to break apart because they're more developed. And so we use these for, as Dom said, coffees that are in contact with the water for less time under high pressure. And so things like a stovetop is perfect for espresso roasting. It is similar to an espresso machine where we brew and extract the coffee under high pressure in, that shorter period of time.
So in terms of like the flavor, is there really, you would say, like, what are the big differences that people are going to expect?
So for me, even though that this is under, we are extracting coffee in a shorter period of time, there's a lot more rich, round, full-bodied, intense flavors going on because of that high pressure going on with espresso roast, and because it's a darker roast. So for filter, I believe it is lighter in brewing style, but also lighter in flavor. So more of those subtle flavor notes. It brings out more of the acidic characteristics, the fruitier characteristics of the coffee, and probably less intense than something that is on the espresso roasted end.
So in a way, this is like your Cabernet. This is like your Pinot Noir.
It's almost the same thing. Can you tell me a little bit more about the solubility of coffee and what you were talking about before with brewing for different, equipment?
Yeah, my pleasure. So we have the extraction time here, and that's essentially the contact time of the coffee to water that we want to occur. So right now it's listed as 31 seconds. That's for the espresso roast. And then here on the filter coffee, it's written as 120 seconds. That's 4 times as long. So whilst the espresso, it's only in contact for a little bit, but the coffee itself is much more soluble and we're able to draw out that flavor much easily. With the filter coffee style, we're looking at 4 times the contact time of that water drawing through that coffee to draw out all those flavors and get like a really good, still rich cup of coffee, but in a very different style. Or more like a tea-like experience over here in its texture anyways, not flavor. Definitely as rich as coffee gets, but in its textural, it's much more like tea, whereas in the espresso, partly because of its roast degree and solubility, it really gets like a more viscous, more honeyed, syrupy texture about it. Yeah.
If you are interested in this and you want to go deeper with White Horse Coffee, and when you're in store, we serve filter coffee in store, we serve espresso in store. Why not step out of the box and try something a bit different? It might surprise you. Our staff can tell you all about the different things that we sell and that you can take home and start brewing for yourself if you've got any questions. It's a lot of fun, and you can really experience a great coffee, not just in our stores, but at home also.